Is now. How's that? So, are they responding that they can hear us?
Shall we?
Yes. Okay. So I'm sure that they're able to hear us now. We're waiting for a response. Um, so hopefully, and this is going to be a answer to one of your questions too. You just said. So did anybody respond yet? Just to tell you that they can hear us? Okay, they can hear us. Okay. So you asked me just a few minutes ago, and we're gonna have you to reiterate some of those questions if you don't mind. So my apologies to many people. This was part of the reason why we went we took the time out. Doing a podcast is not easy. Doing the production is not easy. And during the time with my mom and my mother-in-law, who they were both ill, and trying to do this production, it required a lot of time. So what I had to do, I had to literally go back and start to regroup and try to find my way. So this, it basically, I needed to focus on my mother-in-law at the time. Both of them has passed. And then I also had to start to figure out how to pull this production together. So that was the reason why back in October I decided to go into hiatus.
Uh-huh. So mainly it's a personal reasons just to take care of the family, your mother and your mother-in-law. It's not because of the show itself. It's not that you wanted um, to change something in the show. It's just for a personal break. That's what I understood.
Yeah, actually, I had to take a break. I was becoming overwhelmed.
Okay.
I was becoming overwhelmed, as you know, because I was being coached by you at the time, which I don't mind sharing
Right.
because a lot
Yeah,
of
it's important that you be relaxed and focused, and it is what it is. I mean, you have a priority. We all have a priority, and family stands first. So, yeah, we totally understand. So now in the new season, what can the listeners expect? Anything is going to change from the previous season, or what do you
well,
say about the new season?
with the new season, it basically like this situation where we just had right now. I am trying to build the staff. I'm trying to get where we have people that we can actually come at a different level. Again, like I said, it takes more than just one person to do a production. I've been doing production for many years, but I do that's showcasing artist development. And now I'm getting into this area where to do the podcast and the show requires so much. And so, what I'm looking for going forward is to advance at a level where we really becoming all very professional. Again, things like the sound just now, we had that issue. When we have technicians that can actually focus on that and the cameras and things of that nature, I will be really excited, and that's what I'm looking forward to going forward.
And where are we from that? I mean, it's something you're looking for to happen, or it's already on a process.
Well, it's already in progress.
So we're talking here about technicalities, but what about the show itself? I mean, the topics of the show or the guest types. So
I'm looking that this is not about just one culture. This is something that we want to talk about individuals who are people. Okay, and so that means Ethiopians, Hispanics, Asian, black, white. It doesn't matter. The door is open for us to discuss the issues as long as it's in a positive thinking manner. And those are the areas where I'm looking to move forward to be able to understand different people cultures, things that they're doing. So I'm excited about that.
So if we say who are your audience, you're gonna say it's everybody or specific what? I mean, age or category or what? Or I don't want to say the word niche because I know it's for everyone. It says people to people, but who are your audience?
Okay, well, let me say this. A lot of times people ask me that, but I'm going to have different programs that's going to target different ages. We have a crisis right now with our youth. So I'm going to also look for an opportunity to start making it available for young people to speak their mind and talk about the trials and tribulations of their life. And then we got the elderly people who are also who's been there, done it, but can't do it the way that individuals do it today, and they have a struggle too. So I'm not looking for a specific audience to say I'm looking for middle-aged individuals. I want anyone who has a message that's positive
Okay.
to come onto the show.
So the show is for everyone who has a message
Yes.
that anybody else could relate to.
Yes.
Okay, I got that. How do you connect? How do you stay connected with your audience?
Most of the time,
And like, what role do they play in the evolution of the show?
well, you know what? One of the things that you asked earlier, you said, what is the target and where am I going, right?
Vision.
The vision. Let's go back to that.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I want as far as the audience. I want to know what they want. I want to open the opportunity to reveal the things that they need to move forward. I always say this. This is a part of the things that I put out. Anyone that comes here, you have a choice and you have a voice.
That's interesting. Nice. Yeah. You have
Right?
a voice and you have a choice. Okay.
Right? So the choice is
Mhm.
if you want to come on and talk live and you want to come on and talk about what's going on, your voice will be heard. And when we do that collectively, we can help one another. You know, it's about being connected.
But how is the mechanism for that? I mean, how do you do that? Because you cannot connect with all the audience, or do you connect with them, get messages, and then build a program upon that, or how does that work?
We build a program based on what is necessary for people to hear. Like again, so if I may, we had this bad situation that we were carjacked, right?
Uh huh.
Okay, which brought a whole different perspective to me on life, taking things for granted,
Okay.
and also understanding the individual who commit the crime. Someone told me the other day that they were talking to me and they were saying, "How do you feel about the situation?" And I'm not going to get into the
No, but,
logistics
but
of
what
it.
happened, just for the audience to understand what you're talking about? What?
I got my wife and her cousin and I were carjacked at gunpoint,
Oh, yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And it was very devastating. Which I had to plead for my life
Wow.
with the gun pointed at me
Wow.
and get between the gun and my wife so that the guy wouldn't shoot my wife.
Wow. That's so hard, so tough. And
But
that's your first time to be
that was I
in
mean
such situation.
I've had I'm a former Marine,
You're
so the
from
gun
America.
situation is nothing
Mm.
considering. But
What
that was
happened
the
to you?
first time that I knew that I had to literally stand there and have to concentrate on protecting my wife with my life.
Wow. Wow. That must be
It was devastating.
horrible, devastating. I'm
So
glad. I'm glad you're safe and Zena too is safe. That.
yeah. But those are some of the topics we're going to talk about. Some of the things we got to go to these young people. We got to go to them. We got to get to find out. If I'm not, I want to really elaborate on it too much, but I can say this. So we found out that that they had recovered the vehicle, right, and found out that they had committed several crimes with the vehicle. So I can't speak too much on it, but I can tell you this. My objective is this: if I could see this guy one more time, just one more time, I need to see him without that gun.
Yeah. So yeah, that came to my mind now as you're talking, as the program says, positive thinking people. So we
Yes,
want to deal with such situation. Not that, I mean, we're forgiven and everything is all right, but how we can help to
that's my
evolve such situations and
that's
make
my
it a
whole point.
positive situation. Yeah.
Yes,
And also for you or Zena and your cousin, how this will impact you in a different way. It's not like something you're gonna take it, it's gonna take you back or pull you back, or you be under fear of certain situations, negative situations, but how we can take such situations and turn them to
a
a
positive.
positive. Yeah. And so
My
what's
my
the message out of that, and how
yeah,
can you deal with it?
that's my whole point that I wanted to make. If I see this guy without the gun, I'm going to let him know that I forgive him, that I want to help him.
In a way that will transform him from who he
Yes.
is now to,
Yes.
yeah, make him, help him to see,
Yeah.
this
See,
the light.
he
Yeah.
become a positive thinking individual. So,
Yeah,
then
I think to me that's the main message maybe the program carries, how to transform such situations to a positive
yes,
thinking and give a message to people that
I love
it's
that.
never too late to
Yes.
transform. Yeah.
That would be the whole scenario, and that's who I am. I've dealt with a lot of negativity in my life.
Yeah, I'm sure that's why you named it positive thinking.
Yeah.
Or people to people.
But let me say this. One of the things that I've learned is that I know love can conquer all.
Sure.
And I know that having understanding and forgiveness is important, not being selfish. Again, if I go back and I see this guy, let me tell you something. I can handle myself pretty well.
Mm-hmm.
If it wasn't for my wife, either he'd have been dead or I would have been. One of the two.
We don't want that.
No, I'm just saying. No, okay.
Mm-hmm.
And no, that's not the target.
Mm-hmm.
But I wanted to say that my objective is to come in a way that's what this program is about. It's not about that he carjacked me. You know what's really the target? Is what made him do it. What can we do to bring him out of that? And it's not just about carjacking, it's about people who are illiterate or people who are abused in relationships. But there's an answer. That's why we got people like you, a life coach, a life coach that you know what you did with me.
Mm-hmm.
You opened up some areas to take me to a level where I started to learn how to take and turn it into positivity.
Right. I'm seeing now this is where maybe the area of collaboration, because we coach people who are ready. Maybe your program is to get the people who are ready or to make people ready.
Yeah.
And then, everybody can have a share on that and how to transform such people if they're willing to a different level or change their
Well,
life and
yeah.
other than their surroundings life too.
One of the things with the program that I know that is very important for people to understand, and why should they support it? Why do we need it? And that is this. First of all, you have to speak about things that trouble you. You can't hold it inside. You got to get it out.
You need the courage to do that,
Yeah.
though, or you need people like this program to encourage them to take such a step.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So we got individuals who, in different areas, don't know how to manage. But when one of the questions you asked early on, and it may have gotten missed when the sound was down, and that was, how do we get the guests to
How
come
do we
on?
select the guest?
Yeah. How
Yeah.
do we select
What
them?
qualities are we looking to have on the guest? Yeah.
Like just recently,
Mhm.
in the last few years,
Mm.
a lot of individuals have lost loved ones due to crime.
Or
Not
due to war, like in my country home, my home
and
country.
I
Yeah.
would love to talk to an individual.
Mm.
Do you know how many Americans take everyday life for granted? But for an individual who have to deal with war ever since they was a little child into their teen life,
Mm.
they and then they come here and realize that they don't have to duck and dodge pretty much going into the grocery store.
I don't know. It became sort of familiar. Like that became easy, killing and shooting and people. Earlier, it takes like years to hear that somebody has passed away from your surrounding, from the
Yeah.
small circle. But now, unfortunately, it's becoming very familiar, very normal.
Well, we live in a different time, and we got to also now. Remember, we was talking about different things and how do
Mhm.
we get different people in the program. So what happens is you also this comes when you're talking on a political.
Uh-huh.
And you got to understand who you have in office. Who do you promote in these different categories holding these positions? See, they play a big part in this.
Of course they do, yeah.
Yeah, so we talking about, what programs do we have in the community? How are we helping people?
So our common goal here maybe it's we're helping the people, regardless where they come from,
Right.
what they do, what age, is to turn the thinking or transform the way of thinking to maybe create more peaceful world, if I may say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I would love?
Build inner peace, I would say, resilience or inner peace, right?
I would love to have an interview with a young individual who just came from Somalia or from um, from one of the areas where it's really, really a struggle, right?
Mm-hmm.
And hear what it's like to kind of be able to have a decent sleep,
Mm-hmm.
because some people don't understand that, we act like we own certain parts of the world, right? But we really don't. We should be able to go anywhere we want in the whole world. We should.
Mm-hmm.
But we get mad at a person because he's from Nicaragua and he comes here and he wants to have a better life, and we mad because he wants to come here. Well, go to Nicaragua and see what's making him come here, if you understand what I mean. So meaning programs like this, I can have somebody in that chair and say, why did you want to leave your homeland and come to America? And he can tell me, or she can tell me.
Mm.
And then it's other people would think about the things that they have here that they take for granted.
Oh, okay. So you want to help the people of America to be grateful for
Be
what they have.
grateful
Yeah, or that applies, of course, everywhere in the world. Yeah.
everywhere in the world.
Yeah. Everywhere in
What
the
I'm
world.
saying is not just targeted here.
So, Rodney, from the previous season, any highlights or something that stands out for you specifically? Any takeaway from the guests or from specific show?
I had several. One of them, I had one of my sisters to come on the program that was really enlightening for me because she's not a very talkative individual. And she had dealt with a very serious situation in our family. She lost her son,
Oh,
and she came
sorry to
on,
hear.
and she came on in, and that was really, really special because having the support from your family is important to me.
Mm.
And then it was something else that really, because people to people we do more than just talk about problems or whatever. Me and my wife Zena, we do date night,
Oh yeah,
Friday date
interesting.
night,
Yeah. Uh-huh.
and I get a kick out of it because it was something that we incorporated when we first started dating each other. That we said to each other, we said, you know what we're going to do?
Mhm.
We're going to make it so that at least one day is going to be committed to us no matter what, whether we're mad or not. This is a promise we made to each other when we first
Okay.
met.
Mm.
And it so happened we agreed. He said, we're going to do it Friday. So before I even started doing the podcast,
Mhm.
we would call it Friday date night.
Okay.
And
That's before the. Oh, that's
way before the podcast.
Oh, that's nice. I
Yeah.
didn't know that. I know you have the day.
Yeah. So it was like that was, and so what happened
Mhm.
when I started doing the podcast, I was doing it 5 days a week. And then all of a sudden Friday came and I was like, oh, babe, I got to do the podcast. And he was looking at me like, this is Friday date night.
Okay.
And then I thought, I said, you know what? Why don't
Let's
we
take it to the program.
Right.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh.
And she was like, we had quite a few viewers, but when she came on, it tripled and doubled. And I realized something, that people need to see people having a good time. They need to see people in good relationships. They need to understand that not everything is perfect all the time as well, but it's a way to work through it.
Okay, that's nice. So yeah, talking about that, maybe you can explain a little bit about the new season. How many episodes going to be per week or per month, or what kind? Are they all similar, or every episode is different? I mean, if you're doing it twice a week, it's the same thing, or what's different?
Well, the other thing that's different is that we're now providing an opportunity for anyone who's interested in doing a podcast to come to our location. Let us know. We will help you. We will do that.
To do a podcast by themselves, or to be a
yes,
guest, or
no, to do a podcast by themselves.
Mhm.
We also looking for young individuals who's interested in learn how to do the work the boards and get in the engineering part of it, doing production. It takes a team. Yeah, believe it or not, I have to do this, and I have to say this. Uh, a lot of the mishaps on the program is my fault. I try to do everything,
Hmm.
and you can't.
Micromanagement.
No, it's not micromanaging. I call it surviving. Because
Okay.
if
Okay.
you if
You didn't think that you would need this much help, you mean?
exactly,
Okay.
I didn't know
Mm.
it was going to require that much help.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
once you know how to do it, you can do it.
How's that changing this season?
Well, that's what's good. We're targeting. We changed locations. We are working with individuals. I have to give a shout out. Oh, please, and excuse me, to Demetria from the Good Fight, who's another podcaster, who is doing some amazing things in different areas, and she's taking the time to show me some things and help me in some areas. We're going to be doing things where we won't be so stressed out, and it's different other individuals have podcasts as well, or doing programs and different things of that nature. So it's going to be where we collaborate together to really make sure that we are giving the people what they need and giving them a platform for them to come out and do things as well. So
Things like what? What kind of thing?
start their own show, or get the exposure of uh,
Are they going to do it through people to people, or they consult you in person? I mean, is it something people would share the steps of how these people are going to, how these individuals will learn, or
we share and
it's a
teach it.
service that you're doing it behind the screen?
We'll do. I mean, as we know, nothing's free.
Mm.
So I'm gonna be honest with you. Anyone who that's fine. And we'll provide services. But what I would like to say is I just want to give people opportunity, and that's what we're looking for.
Mm.
Do with this program
Mm.
itself. It's about giving people opportunity. That's bottom line.
Okay. I'm just excited. I mean, curious, Rodney, to know how have you grown personally and professionally since you've started this podcast?
I become less selfish,
How so?
because I think about other people's feelings before mine, and I think about the needs of others, and the things that's going to help them
Mm.
enjoy life.
Mm.
This is what I get out of this. A lot of people think I just like being in the limelight. I don't. I do all type of stuff. I don't need this. This is a lot of work, but I do this because I love people. I love
Mm.
helping people.
What were you doing before the podcast?
I was an artist developer. I promote. I
Mm-hmm.
do show. I do showcasing artists. I had 20 artists at one
After you
time.
are in the show business
Yeah,
before the
yeah.
program.
I know a
Okay.
lot of people in the show business.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, and we was traveling around. I have one. My daughter actually was a pop rock artist.
Uh-huh.
Um,
Yeah, I
uh,
noticed that you also sing well. You have a nice voice too.
I can sing a little tiny bit.
And photography. So
And then
it's a lot of art in the family, I
yeah,
see.
but I have a lot of talent in my family.
I can see that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I and believe me, I come from a very prestigious family. I'm not putting nobody down, but I got people in my family that doctors, lawyers, professional athletes, teachers, business owners.
How did that impacted you or inspired you?
It inspired me because I watched them come from nothing to something.
Mm-hmm.
I watched them come from the ground without being fed and given so many opportunities freely, and watch them earn them.
Okay, that's beautiful. Well said.
Yeah.
This brings a question to my mind about what legacy you wish for people to leave behind.
Um, I would want them to say, first of all, I would want them to say that I was a pretty decent individual. You know, that means a lot to me. I don't want to be looked at as a cruddy person, backstabber, cheater, liar, thief. I don't want that type of. I believe in God. I believe in a higher being. I give
Mm-hmm.
him all praise. I'm sorry. I'm not ashamed to say it, publicly, and that's what I when things get bad, I pray and ask for certain things, right? I want to be like that in a way. Not I want to be God, but I want to be like that. I want to help people find their dreams and accomplish a lot of things.
Okay. Well, we wish you all the success there is. Before we wrap it up, I would like to ask the three things. Okay. So if I say three people you wish to host on this podcast.
Hmm. It used to be famous people, but
Mhm.
now that doesn't excite me anymore.
Yeah, I mean, it
You
doesn't
know,
mean it doesn't meant to
um,
be famous people. Whoever comes to your mind. I mean, whom certain personalities or individuals
I
you
would,
wish to host.
but I really would like to host a program with all three of my children, my biological children, and possibly a program with my stepkids as well, which I have a total of six. I would love to do an interview with all of them and hear each one of them perspective on life, and not
Okay.
because I had
So
something to do with it,
we'll consider that as one guest.
as one.
Who are the other two? Yeah.
Um, right now,
Mm-hmm.
I would love to have the mayor of Washington D.C. sit in the chair with me, and
And that's
I
nice.
would love to talk to her one on one.
Okay.
And I don't know if she'll like me after that, but I would definitely.
I'm sure you all work on the best interest for the public or the
Yeah,
people of DC, right?
yeah. I
So
mean, just no. I mean, because the capital affects us all around in this area.
sure,
Yeah. So she
affects
would
the
be.
whole world
Yeah.
indeed.
She would be one person
Mm.
that I would want to talk to,
Mm-hmm.
and
The third person.
the third person, if I really could have anybody. Uh,
Let it be somebody from the celebrities. The third one.
it'd be Tyler Perry.
Tyler Perry. Okay. Make sure that I'm there in that episode.
I would love to interview or sit down, not to interview him, but I would just love to sit down and talk with him.
Let's put it to the universe. One of the people you wish to interview is Taylor Perry,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Okay. So the three things. Okay, it only three things. No thinking, just whatever comes to your mind.
Okay.
Okay. So three shows you wish to be a guest on.
Jennifer Hudson.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. She has a podcast,
No, she has a talk show.
a talk show.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Sorry, Jennifer.
Yeah, I would love to be on the show with her.
Okay, Jennifer.
Um, uh, the I would like to go. This is funny, but I would love to be on the Breakfast Club. It's
Yeah.
another podcast, right?
Okay.
I would love to be able to talk about my struggle as a podcaster with
Oh,
them.
okay.
That would be a place that I would like to do.
That's a very suitable platform for what
Yeah.
we're talking about. And number three,
Um, I don't know. I never really looked at it. The third one would definitely I would want it to be on a show that had something really to do uh, with production. So I'm not quite sure who I would really want to see, but I would.
do you watch other podcasts
I do.
usually?
Yeah, I watch them, and I get intrigued by many of them. The one thing that I don't want to do is I don't want to be a copycat of somebody else's. Yeah.
There's so many topics on
Yeah.
live that it's enough for everyone, I think, to have
Yeah.
their own podcast and own, theme, I would say. Okay, three things you wish to inspire for the community, for the society.
Family,
Mm-hmm. Three, family and
spirituality,
spirituality.
and self awareness.
That's part of his spirituality, I would say.
It would be.
Mm-hmm.
So it definitely family, the spirituality, and just being yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Be able to be who you are, regardless of whatever people think.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's something that I would really enjoy being able to just
Okay.
help people in that area.
And 3 things you wish to improve on the show.
Production, number one.
Okay.
Production. I really want to get where we don't make the little mistakes. You know, I want to get a team. I want this to be a success. It will be. I just haven't got the right people or the people behind me, but I'm not a quitter. So that's what I really want. I'm looking for a team that see the big picture and we collaborate together. And I'm not a micromanager. I'm like this. If you know how to work it, you do it. Let me do what I do.
Mm-hmm. It's a teamwork.
Yeah.
It's always been, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
I think all successes that we've seen, it's built on a teamwork. Yeah. And okay. So before we finish, the last question would be, what do you know for sure? And that's open question.
what I know for sure,
Uh-huh.
that we all gonna die. That's for sure.
Tell us something new.
Hey, you asked me what's for sure.
What do you know for sure for yourself? About
Yeah.
yourself or about the show?
Yeah, I know that for sure that I won't give up trying to be a positive individual. I know that for sure. I won't let anything take me to a point where I'm going to forget about love, peace, and harmony. You know, that I know for sure.
How do you do that?
By loving and respecting other people. I treat people the way I want them to treat me. That's it. You know, I don't have to be mean to you. I remove myself from you. But I can love you. And if you receive the love, I'll stay in your presence.
Mm-hmm.
And that's who I am.
How do you protect yourself? I mean, from all this
Praying. I put the Holy Spirit in front of me with everything. See, a lot of people, you can believe whatever your religion is or whatever. I'm not mad at you. But I can tell you what I believe and what I live by and how I'm protected.
I know you're very religious. Yeah.
No, I'm not religious.
Not religious in that sense, but
I'm spiritual.
You're spiritual.
I'm a spiritual man.
Yeah.
So I don't, I'm not a Baptist.
I mean, like you have a faith. That's what I mean. You have a faith.
My faith is in the Creator, and I believe that I'm protected by the Creator at all times.
So we were curious to know, what's your prayer? I know you pray a lot. What's your personal prayers?
Every morning I ask God. Before I ask Him, I thank Him.
Sure.
Before I ask Him anything, I thank Him for giving me another day. But I always ask Him to allow me to be a blessing for somebody else. That's my prayer every morning.
I remember you told me this when we first met, and I was really, it captured my attention. That's so beautiful.
I just, I know that it's a lot of people out here hurting. There's a lot of people out here are misunderstood. We need to start opening up the door and stop being so judgmental to everybody. Read the book. Don't just look at the cover. Find out what's in the story from the beginning and the end. And also, don't forget, there's a middle part. And this is with people. I have certain people in my life that have lived some real troubled times. And, they have a story to tell. And I just think it's beautiful when I can look at them without being judgmental and say, hey, you know what? You are right. Tell your story. Because I understand why you're the way you are. And that's amazing. That's what this platform is about. It's people to people. Power to power, positive thinking people. People to people, that's me, you, and them. Them being whoever you want them to be. Power to power, the power you possess, the power I possess, and the power we possess together. And with everything that's positive, we become positive thinking people.
Oh,
PTP.
okay. Now we know. Okay, that's interesting. Yeah, I was gonna ask what's power to power. So you mean integrating all these powers
Right.
to turn into something positive or
Yes.
how? Okay.
And that's what that's what happens with anything. You can always take something and put it together and build a momentum where even at the explosion of it, it could be lights and joy and people smiling. You can do that.
Of
Make it.
course you can.
Yeah.
Of course, yeah. Wow. Anything you'd like to add, Rodney, before we wrap it up?
No, I just want to thank the people who have been supporting me, the people who believe in the podcast. I want to thank you personally. you know, I'm not phony, no way. So I know people gonna say, "Hey, okay." I just want to say that, you taught me something when I first met you to go deep inside in me.
Uh-huh.
You remember that session we had?
Yeah.
It was very emotional for me,
Mm.
but you gave me the opportunity to go talk to me, and I was able to realize that things ain't as bad as I thought because I can make things change.
Yeah, you can. Of course, you can. It's also you were ready. You were ready to receive that. I mean, I or anybody in my position could say this to anybody else or any other client, but if they're not ready for that step, they won't receive it the way you received it. So I also want to pause you for that. Uh, I mean, you had the courage. You had the courage, and you had the willingness. You're really ready. So
It's all about, like I said, when we had several sessions, but that one particular one, which I would highly recommend to everyone. Sometimes you just take that step back and go talk to that little boy or that little girl that you were. Have that one on one with them and watch what happens. It becomes so intense.
mhm. Yeah, well, that's what's therapy and coaching and all that about. But yeah, it has to be supervised though. Well, I mean, yeah, we said it's not about me today. It's all about you and the show. And we're excited that you're coming back. And we look forward to some new, exciting, interesting shows and maybe variety of guests. Uh,
It's gonna be
it's gonna,
interesting.
yeah.
We won't be coming on 3 times a week anymore.
Uh-huh, that's, yeah, we'll talk about that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're gonna get so we'll just come on a Wednesday and Friday. It's gonna be Let's Talk About It Wednesday still, but that's gonna be focusing on the topics that are necessary to be discussed.
And that it comes as we go, as if I understood it right. I mean, you're gonna pick the topics based on what's happening around or what you
Yes,
need.
yeah. Or I've already have some things lined up. The next this following Wednesday is losing a loved one, and I'm talking about that
Oh,
because
okay. So the episode's gonna be titled. There will be a theme
every
every
episode.
month or every what or every episode by itself.
No, every episode. And I'm glad you said that because those are some of the things that I have to work on.
Uh-huh.
But right now, I know that was the first one because I know several young ladies who, one particular I won't talk about. I want her to come on. She lost her son.
Oh, sorry
Very
to hear.
tragic situation, and I pay attention to her. Right. I know several people that lost their son, but this young lady happened to just lost her son. I think it was last year,
Oh,
and I know she wasn't prepared for it. And I know that losing a loved one is devastating. And because when I lost my mom, not lost my mother, but when my mother transitioned, it really did something to me. When my mother-in-law transitioned, it really
wow.
did something to
So you
me.
experienced great major losses last year. Oh
Yes.
yeah, we're sorry to hear that. May they rest in peace. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Mm.
but
It's
and
not
then
an
we got
easy
date night.
experience. Uh-huh.
Date night is gonna be phenomenal. So we're gonna have chefs coming in. bring
And
it.
are you gonna do that with other couple
We're
every
going to do it with
time?
other couples.
Mm.
Yeah. So if you're interested in coming on the show as a couple to talk about relationship, please get in touch with me. You can, you can get to me through Facebook easy or Instagram.
Yeah, that was gonna be the
Yeah.
other thing. How can people reach out to you, or
Yeah.
how could they? Or
Reach,
Facebook?
yeah, Facebook, or you can, my email, you can email me is rodneygptp@yahoo.com. Email me and let me know that you're interested in coming in. I'm open for whatever. This is not about me. This is not about you,
Mm-hmm.
but it's about
It's about
us,
us. Yeah.
right? I
Right.
always say that,
Mm-hmm.
and so I'm excited about that, and I'm just willing to move forward to help as many people as I can. And we got, like I said, now on June 5th is losing a loved one. On June 7th is the first return of date night, where we have a chef coming in. We have a couple coming in.
Well, is it where is it gonna be? Where is the venue? Every time in a different restaurant, or at your
No,
house, or here in the
it,
studio?
well, sometimes on date night we can end up anywhere, but majority of the time we will be in the studio.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but I mean, we've done date night. Zena and I, we've been walking down by Old Town and just walk up and start talking to some people.
Oh, that's
Oh, it was. I
that's
mean, and
nice.
people,
Yeah.
they get a kick out of it
Mhm.
because it's important for people to make time to build relationships.
Okay.
So that's what we want to talk. That's
And you said you're gonna have a chef, so if it's in the studio, you're gonna come with a chef and in the studio.
oh yeah. I mean, actually, we have a chef coming. I'm on wait till we advertise it, market it properly. But we have a chef that's going to prepare meals for us, and then the chef will talk about where his meal is and give his information and be gone. And then we're going to sit down and we're going to talk about relationships. We're going to talk about moving forward. How do and it's not just about relationship with people. You can have a good relationship with yourself. You can go on a date by
That's the
yourself.
main. That's number one relationship. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you don't have a good relationship with yourself, then you have no good relationship with anything or anyone. I think that's the
So
basic. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Interesting. Well, I wish you all the best, and I'm sure everybody does. And we're excited for what's coming up, moving forward from with the show. Yeah,
Well, I'm looking forward to having you to I'm going to probably say this publicly. You're not just my life coach. You're a friend of mine,
I'm sure we
and a
are.
friend of me and Zena's.
Yeah.
And you have a lot to bring to the table too. And so I will be sitting down talking with you as well. I know I'm flipping it because it's hard for me to be in an interview, not to be in that hosting
Yeah,
position.
we flipped
But
the
yeah,
seat. Yeah.
but you have a lot to share,
Thank you for
and
saying
and
that.
and I'm looking forward to it. I'm talking to some other people. I got other people lined up, and I can just tell everybody stand by, stay tuned, because people to people is here. We're not going anywhere. We're gonna get better and better and better. And I am open for suggestions. I can take any type of criticism. If you think that I talk too much, tell me. If you think that we need this, tell me. Because guess what? I can take it and use it in a way that is going to be a blessing
Positive
for you.
thinking.
Positive thinking people.
Okay,
So,
interesting. Well,
and actually, the time is going to be 7 o'clock. So at 7 o'clock, we'll be airing.
it has been almost 7 o'clock. Has
Yeah,
it
it's
been?
always been 7 o'clock. So, and also right now, so I got to just be transparent. Lady Z is working the board right now, and there's people been watching, so they ask questions and things of that nature. And so the individuals, I want you to know that we're interested in what you want to see. We want to know what you want. This is not just for me. This is ours together, and for us to move forward. So I'm excited about that. So yeah, 7 o'clock Wednesday. Let's talk about it Wednesday, which will always have a title. It will always have a theme, and sometimes, and you mentioned it. I think that we possibly might take it to a point where we might say, well, this month we're going to focus
Yeah.
on, instead of just jumping to back and forth.
Yeah.
I think that's a pretty
Yeah.
good idea. When you said that,
Yeah,
it
I
stuck
think
with me.
you're open. I understood you're open to address issues as they come, as they show.
Yeah.
So yeah, it could be every time or every season we have a theme. You have a theme for the show to discuss. That would be interesting because it's endless topics, right?
No, it is.
Yeah.
We have to
Mm.
understand that in order for us to move forth,
So
and,
the idea is like you're open for ideas, open for and the listeners or the audience could expect surprises every now and then, or something new, new theme, new guest, new whatever comes, right? But the issue is it's all about the people.
it's all about the people to people, power to power, positive
Mm.
people. And we will have some celebrities in, but I don't. A reason why I don't really focus on celebrities because you know, if we was the podcast that was focused on celebrity problems, then I would be at that. You know, I do that. But
Mm.
I want to
And
do.
celebrities they have enough platform,
They
so
they do they
yeah.
do
So
they do.
ours is or yours, the program, the people to people is about the common people, the normal people, the people that we all relate to, whether celebrities or not, if I understood you right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I just want people to know too. You will see as we move forward. Today we was just straightforward. We jumped right into it because it was this title today was the interview review, and that was basically you kind of talking to me to say, "Hey, Rodney, what are you doing? Where you going? How are you going about these things?" And I'm hearing my phone clicking. I'll grab that just for a minute because I want to make sure that people are not. Um,
I
yeah,
think we gotta wrap it up now, Lady
yeah.
D. Yeah. Thank you everyone for listening, and we're looking forward to the new season of People to People, Positive Thinking People. Thank you so much, Rodney, for this opportunity and for opening up and sharing all what you've shared and more to come. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. People to people, power to power, positive thinking people. PTP for life. That's what it's all about. You hear them binging off. That's people sending in messages, telling, saying good things. Thank you so much. We appreciate you. Thank you so much. I love it. Thank you.